All right, here we go. Here we go. Can you introduce yourself to the people for me, please?
Yes, yes. My born name, Alexis Javier Perez Santiago. Most people know me as Age or AJ, and I am here kicking it, sitting with signature views. I'm ready to get in some conversation, talk about some music, talk about some art.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do
Yeah.
this. So, to start out, I have one simple question.
Okay.
Are you a fan of music?
Am I a fan of music?
Yes.
Um, I almost want to say that's the most dumb question I ever heard, but it's not. Some people don't like music.
Wait till you see my interview, yo. I gotta go. Somebody answered that question
Yeah.
a way I could have never expected.
Well, I had to hold my tongue for a second, but I felt like I needed to express that. But yeah, no, I'm
Please do,
like,
no, please.
I mean, music it's innate in life and creation, and sound is like a cosmic like language, and so yeah, yes, I'm a fan of music. Yes.
Are there any certain types that you hold yourself to, or that you would call yourself a fan of, like that really touch you, like a deep fan, or so to speak?
Genres go. Yeah, genres, styles, tech. I mean, I like a variety of genres. It's just it just has to be, there's certain chords, there's certain sounds, the way they resonate that vibe with me. But I mean, depending on what time of day it is or what kind of creative project I'm working on, like I might, I might put on something different, just to kind of help. I would say to help me keep me in that state of being. So like if what I mean, so like if I'm kind of feeling down and out, I might throw in something that's a little more melancholic and more, more, somber. But if I'm feeling like I'm up and antsy and got a little energy and, I'm throwing, something a little more hip hop, electronic, or the fusion of the two, or like I'm definitely digging some experimental sounds and music. Like people are trying to push the envelope, but yeah, I mean, I like gypsy style music. I like lo-fi. I love hip hop. Like all forms and shapes and of hip hop. I mean, I think that yeah, I mean that's definitely like number one to me. But I think that also hip hop embodies a lot of other genres too.
What are some of the things that you can attribute to helping you become a fan of music? Like, is there anything that you could say led you to it, or anything of that nature?
Well, it was always around. I mean, yeah, there was always music playing, like, and it was, I mean, from the time I was in the womb, since my inception, like there was some music playing, as soon as my what is it, my eardrums like formulated in the womb, like as soon as I could hear that boom boom, that heartbeat drop.
That's a good one.
Since then,
Yes, I do. Yes, I
yeah,
do.
man, like it's yeah, it's just so prevalent. Like,
Can you remember any of your first favorites? Like when it came to just music as a whole?
yeah, so I mean, of course, like most people, you grow up listening to the stuff that your parents are listening to, and your older siblings and your older cousins or whatever, your grandparents, and I recall like just like classic salsa music being played. The from old school Buena Vista Social Club to like at the time a little more contemporary was what's his name? Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting his name right now, but like the likes of like Ruben Blades,
Hector Lavoe.
Hector Lavoe was played a little bit, but he was like I would say like the biggest one was Mark Anthony. When Mark Anthony hit the scene, like that definitely was a big play. But like Frankie Negron and it's like old classic salsa musicians, Cesario Ora, I was Celia Cruz. Like definitely like like classic salsa music was played all the time. And on top of that, like my parents were young when they had me, so they were like early 20s in the 80s, and my mom was, listening to Madonna, NXS, Information Society. Like they were listening to like freestyle and house music that was coming out of New York because my mother was from New York City. Her and my father met in Connecticut, but that was the music that they were listening to also because like that New York, Puerto Rican, Spanish culture, like house music, freestyle was really popular, and it was like a combo of like some dance and like a spin off of like I mean, I would say yeah, just electronic like pop dance synth, that 80s synth wave, and
Yeah.
but yeah, um that was like heavily played. And then I remember the first, man, I don't even know when the first rap song I heard. It must have been like I was probably like 5 years old or so. I remember I was real young, and like it must have, because it was like 87. And my uncles, my mother's brothers, because they used to, one of them, Jocks, Gene, and my other uncle Seville, Sev One was a graffiti writer, and my uncle Jocks was a b-boy, breakdance. And
Yeah.
so watching them do what they were doing at that age was pretty fascinating to me, and like seeing their homeboys too, and everybody's all like in Adidas tracksuits and rocking the shell toes, and
That's awesome,
and
man.
so like that was like, to me, kind of like looking up like, whoa, like wow,
Hmm.
check it out, like they looked so dope, so cool. Their Kangos and the
Yeah.
like the classic 80s, and in the hood and in Hartford, like just streetwear, like that was just, yeah, at the time, this is at
Yeah.
the time. So
Is there anything that you could say, any type of music or any artist that you say you tried just randomly, or that you just was like complete opposite of everything that you liked and that you tried and was like blew you away with the same strength?
um say that, like any artist that,
Like for instance, like was like a random pick one day and you was like, wow, this is like way better than I thought of. Like for instance, with
oh
me,
yes, for sure, for sure. um Dead Prez.
wow. Wow. For me, Cameron was a better, like when I like how Spotify has this is Cameron playlist.
Uh-huh.
His like listening to his collection was a lot easier than I expected it to be, because I expected it to be like outright horrible. But yeah, he had a lot of things that was like snapping. He had some great bars, but
Yeah.
go ahead though. Like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was
Dead Prez. So do you
Dead
remember which
Prez.
album, or like
Oh, the
Let's Get Free, or
Let's Get Free.
oh wow.
Yeah. Let's Get Free. I was up in, well, like right after school. I might have left school early, and I went to Sam Goody's, to this record store, because that, this is like
Mhm.
this is before iPods and all this stuff came out. I was probably like I was like a junior, maybe. I think it was a senior in high school. Yeah, I was a senior because I was like driving. I started driving at my senior year, and so yeah, me and my homie Pat PG, yo, Pat Gargiulo, what up?
That's
He and
what's
I
up.
used to like go to every, like almost every Tuesday, and go pick up new music, and we just go run, finger through old new CDs, and who's
Yes.
out. And I remember coming across Dead Prez, and the cover is, got me, and I was just like, yo, what is this about? Because it was a very strong cover. And then it had like some like disclaimer thing on, sticker on the outside of the wrapper, other outside of the, like, the traditional, just like parental advisory warning. There was like another
Yes.
sticker on it too. And
Yes.
yeah, just like something about it was like, I need to, yeah, let me just give this a listen. And yeah, that album was very enlightening
Yeah, Let's Get
and
Free.
insightful, and talking on subject matter that I hadn't even been in conversations about yet. Stuff that like really just wasn't in my purview, just because of the way I grew up. Like, so
Hmm.
there was things that I was just not really privy to, just because of like the like my growing up as a military brat, moving around, interacting with all kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was just no, that shit, that album was dope. Like from the beats to the rhymes to like their cadence, like the way they played off each other on some of the tracks, but just like the content. Like I literally, it was like one of those albums where I would hit just play on track one and just let it ride through, and I would listen to the whole album anytime I listened
Mm.
to it, like all the way. And then eventually had the tracks I was like, ooh, I want to hear that right now. But yeah, that album.
Do you have any songs that you would say are inherited songs that like you're like a specific song or anything that you go back to that you jam that takes you back to those days, like that you got from someone or like anything of that nature? Like you know
um
songs.
Yeah, like mostly, I gotta say the top one though would be probably like Purple Rain by
Mm.
Prince, because that was an album that was like on rotation with like Madonna and I forget which Madonna album, but my mother every Saturday was like cleaning day for a long time growing up, and like, but the formative years between that, I remember between like 3 to like 7 years old. That's like I remember like whenever that came out, when Purple Rain came out, I must have been like 2 or 3 years old. So like that, but that every Saturday that album was jamming, and then
Wow.
like, and because it was such an epic conceptual album that there was a movie with it, all this stuff. So like, it was just like I heard it all the time. My grandmother was in love with with Prince. She
Wow,
was like Prince
yo.
was her man.
Go grandma, yo. That is what's up. Oh man, do you have anything you don't listen to or you stay away from or like
um, I don't consciously stay away from any music really,
come
but
on.
but
Come on.
one genre I just don't listen to much of at all is like country music. And I've definitely heard some country songs that I was like, yo, this is jamming. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
even
of
like some older
course.
ones to like to a couple contemporary ones too. Um, I've heard some stuff that was like, oh, this ain't bad. Like I would
Mhm.
probably, I'll listen to it again, but I don't. Then it's like, I don't. It doesn't come back to me though later on. Like, oh, but that one song, yeah, let me go look that up or try to find that song again. I was
Yeah.
like, no, I find myself like, I don't know, yeah. There's a few artists I'll go back to and keep listening to from time to time when I'm working, when I'm painting, creating, or um, at home cooking.
Yeah.
Like I like to listen to there's one artist, Lasa de Sela. Like
Okay.
she passed away in like 2012,
Oh
but she
wow.
was like a Mexican Canadian singer songwriter, and she sang in like Spanish and English, and I think a
Okay.
little French too. But kind of that worldly gypsy kind of vibe. She had her own, she got a good sound going. It was too
Oh,
bad her career was cut short with like she has a died, I think died in a car accident, I think.
damn.
But
Rest in peace, yo.
yeah,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah. So um, I think that answered that question. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it did.
I
It did.
forget.
It did.
What
Okay, got a
shit.
great one for you.
Uh
Are
huh.
there any albums or songs that you have played to death? Like where you've had to give it a rest because you jammed it too many million times.
Damn. Let's see. Cinematic Orchestra's album, My Floor. Definitely jammed that a lot. Um, there was an album by like, was it? Well, another one is probably Aquemini.
Ooh, wow.
Like when I was yeah, that was on rotation hard for a minute. Um, speaking of Outcast, like The Love Below,
Mm.
like I jammed that shit pretty hard. Like, and I would play that one. That's another one like the Let's Get Free I was mentioning, where I could hit play at the beginning and just listen to the whole thing.
I have to go back and really, really dissect Speaker Box Love Below. But Prototype fucked me up when it dropped, yo. Prototype was
Prototype, yeah,
Prototype was real killer, yo.
yeah.
Killer.
That album in general, like, and
Mm.
I mean, I'll put this out there for the conversation. I'm sure some people have thoughts on this, but like, I really do think that that album alone probably could have won that Grammy.
Mm.
Like, I don't think like, yeah, I don't think it was like the double disc because it was like two separate albums. Like, so the fact that they won a Grammy for that, like, I believe those on, to me, that was like, yo, The Love Below was like a really well, like, written conceptual, I think, like project from track one to the end. Like, I think, yeah, going back, like, after listening to so many times, like, it was like, damn, he was dropping some serious, like, nuggets of wisdom up in these songs.
Wow. Was It was a
Yeah.
funny question I never thought of to ask, really, but is there anything that you've done because of a rap song
Is it,
or some lyrics in the song? Like you've heard it and was like, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna try that. I gotta do that.
um,
One of my
let me,
favorites that I go
oh,
to is drinking cognac and Sprite.
yeah.
Because you brought up Outkast, so I was like, when we first started drinking Hennessy, it was Hennessy and Coke. So I was like, oh, yak and Sprite. I gotta try that.
Yep.
Nah, that's the drink.
Yep. There was, it's drinks too. It's coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, I don't know. But that's something that, yeah, I think, I don't know, like, uh, yeah, senior year of high school again, just like, one was Alizé and orange juice and Hennessy and making Thug Passion.
Thug Passion.
And then, yeah, just gin and juice, getting Tanqueray and OJ. And then what else would we drink? Oh, and then this is the dumb one, was thinking that we can like sip on 151, Bacardi 151, because of like and I forget what the lyric, the sequencing of the lyrics, but Big Pun says something about like, you must have been drunk off like 151, fucking with Fat Joe or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But something, I forget the lyrics exactly, but like, must have been that 151 or some shit. So, but yeah, we had sipped on that too, and that was foolish. That was dumb. Take a shot of 151.
Yeah, y'all were trying to get there and get there quick. That's next level chest burns right there.
Seriously, and I wasn't even. I mean, this is I just started trying to drink, But I would say I held my own. Like, I never like. Well, I didn't drink stupidly either, though. So I mean, I didn't like, I didn't black out. I never really had any of those blackout experiences. I didn't have that shit until I went to college.
Damn, I get that. Well, what's one of your favorite Get Fucked Up songs then?
Get Fucked Up songs? That's a tough one. Shit.
Come on.
I don't know. I mean, shit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, there's like
just a song, just vibe out.
Yeah, I mean, I like vibing out to like when party time. I like hearing more, a little bit older shit. So it's a little more nostalgic,
Yeah.
But like that, like Big Pun's, like 100%, yeah, baby, that album, like Capital Pun, like that time was ill. Like what's his name? Jay's Hard Knock Life, before Hard Knock Life.
Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
Shit, like. Yeah, I didn't even got no. I'm about to say, was there any Spanish songs in there? I'm like, nope.
Can you remember
Nori? Shit, when Nori, that Nore, that album was at least at that time was a jam out. That was like an album I played. I mean, it's more modern. You say a Get Fucked Up song, I mean, or album. I really didn't have one like in college. It was just like, I think because at that time it was like people were making playlists and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we were all like, just like, who's whose playlist you gonna play? Oh, let's throw my playlist on. And it's just like, you've got a series of like dance songs and shit that you vibe with. So a bunch of different artists, but I was jamming a lot of dance hall back in the day too, like Beanie Man and fucking what's his name, Red Rat. God, Sean Paul, back when he was like copying other people's or using other people's beats.
Damn.
Yeah, Infiltrate was my shit. And that was like basically he just did like his own version over Beanie Man's Who Am I? But that was like a dope track. Yeah, he used to dance to that shit at the clubs.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm losing track now. You got me thinking. I'm like all these like going back into the archives.
Yes,
These
cracking that
memories.
shell,
Yeah.
man. Well, who's some of your favorite artists since you listen to all the genres? Who's just someone some people that you love, timeless that you're gonna like always love.
Some artists I always love. I mean, I think that Dead Prez is there. I mean, I like even the more recent stuff that they have put out. Like I dig, but I say that as far as like something that's timeless, that album Let's Get Free will always be timeless to me. The Fugees, the score was a huge impact. That was like the first CD I ever got, my first Walkman. I got that for my birthday, and that's something I played the fuck out, and like I still will play the whole album from beginning to end. And that's one album that's probably the only well, maybe not the only, but one of the only albums that like I would think could almost recite almost every word for word from beginning to end. Like that. That's how much I would listen to that album. We would jam that album, and it was partially too because my parents actually like fucked with the album. They didn't bother them either, so I could jam that shit at the house.
Oh yeah.
And but there's I mean shit, Outkast definitely be timeless. I could always listen to their shit. I really wish Andre would do something again. Kendrick's dope. I like Kendrick. I like that album. Damn, Good Kid, Bad City. That was fucking dope. His new project was pretty ill too.
Oh man, yeah, I'm still going through it, but yeah,
good. And that's one. I mean, I still need to keep listening to that one. I've only probably listened to it straight through like maybe like 3 times. But that's another dope one. Shit, like the more artists I really like, Timeless Classic. Oh,
I mean that's really
I mean, there's so many good artists out there too. And of course, I'm drawing a blank on so many names right now.
Are there any artists that you just heard that you're like flush the toilet on that you're gonna not touch again?
Hold on, let me go back. So to the ones I like though, right? So definitely want to throw out like K9, Saul Williams.
Ooh.
Saul Williams is dope. And then who else was I about to say? Damn. Oh, these new cats, Coast Contra. Yes. I've been following them for a while now, like before they even got on the Jimmy Kimmels and the whatever and started blowing up and getting features. Like them dudes, like I caught them randomly on Instagram when they still had a couple thousand followers or some shit, and these cats can rap. Yeah. Like they make me. I'm like they get me amped. They get me amped. They have that energy that's like that old like Onyx and freaking Far Side and like, but just I don't know. They just got they're dope. They're dope. Yeah. But yeah, to any artist that like I just can't stand or think is booty or like garbage.
Yeah, like you tried to give them your ear, but then you just had to flush the toilet on them.
Not really, man. Like there's certain artists I just know not to listen to. Like there's I can't think of anybody that I heard that I was just like no. Like at least that's in the mainstream. I mean, mainstream wise, like I don't even really listen to what's on the mainstream.
I get that.
I couldn't even tell you who's popping right now in the top 40.
I get that.
Like I'm looking at Bandcamp and SoundCloud and looking at underground artists and and then coming across new artists on IG. And then just fucking with people here in my community, I listen to Signature, I listen to you, I listen to what's his name?
Yeah, Philly.
Um,
Doing that.
I haven't listened to too much Phil. I have listened to his songs that he was dropping, his singles,
Yeah.
but like I haven't like listened to all of his stuff all the way through. Like
Okay.
I need to get him into the rotation.
Okay.
Him, I need to get into rotation. Tune, haven't even heard any of Tune House music.
Yeah, King Bogus maybe.
King
Yeah.
Bogus I have, and I like King Bogus. Like, and
Mhm.
I've seen him perform live too, and he definitely has a good presence on stage. And I
Yes.
like the way he like comes at his flows. Like there's a nice like artful spoken word element to it. But yeah, what's his name? Shit, I don't know who he's going by now. Him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, I like his music. I've seen him perform live. Um, shit, my boy Basic, of course, basically Dope Sandwich Crew. I mean,
Good call out.
Knife. I mean, I listen to him every so often. There's a few tracks that like are there's a couple tracks in my rotation that I'll go back to and pull and listen to every once in a while.
Yeah.
Who else? But yeah, this is and also just some dope talent around here. Like I like catching people live when I can, especially when
Man, that's such a good element that adds to it, man, because they get the freestyle, they get the essence of how the band works together to create the sound.
Mhm.
It's huge. Do you have any performer that you've seen that changed, like that it was like one of your favorites for just the live show?
One of the favorites with the live show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the favorites with the live show. Local wise
Oh,
or
just
just
period.
anybody.
Yeah. Russell,
Um,
man, anything.
yeah, I've seen some bands over the years that were crazy, man. Because I think I've gone to several of the stopover festivals and seen some pretty wild shows in there. Um, God, I can't even remember the name of this one band. I don't even know if they're still together. They were, I want to say they were out of Athens, and they would come to Savannah, I guess, every so often. But they were pretty wild.
Ooh, what's the name?
And dope. These guys were just like. Anyways, yeah. I can't remember the name. Yeah, this interview is gonna be kind of wax. I can't remember anybody's names.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, local wise, I mean, shit. I've seen some everything from like hip hop to rockabilly to like to country to Americana, punk, metal. Um, yeah, like experimental from like DIY house shows to like some of the bigger venues in town.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, like hip hop night has always been a consistent for me. Like, because even on nights where if there might not be as many people, it's always entertaining. Like the MCs, b-boys, DJs, like getting down, doing their thing, and
Yes, I
and
do.
I appreciate the spontaneity of freestyling and that art form. I really think is dope. Like how yeah, people can kind of come off the top of the head and come up with just different just come up with some raps. Stringing the words together, those lyrical
Yes, yes, I do.
linguistics.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it. So like I enjoy to me, like I think when like seeing a performance, I love when the artist goes into that zone, and it's like you can almost like see them like outer body blackout, or they're
Yeah.
just like embodying something, so like some other energy or this greater energetic spirit or whatever, and they're just like in the flow doing their thing, and it's like it's yeah, to me that's always been a beautiful thing to watch or to witness, like in person, and yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Exactly, man, because it's different. Like, that live element changes just enough, especially when the musicians are in tune with each other to just bring forth that, that the song is a whole body, of work because everybody's doing the damn thing up there, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Do you have any favorite instruments? Any instruments that you love, favor?
The piano and I would say, I don't know, between the guitar, I mean the guitar and the bass. I don't say the bass, like you can.
The bass.
Yeah, the bass. I love that. Just that boom, 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 like that bass sound. Like watching the old blues bass guitars, with the stand up, just walking that shit up and down, like fucking it.
Man.
Like I always felt that was amazing. Like just like when you're watching someone play the harp. It is.
That's exactly where my mind went to, the harp.
The harp, yeah, it's just such a like fascinating like instrument. I mean, it seems like so much more complex than like the piano,
But they're the same thing.
But it's the same thing.
They're the same thing. That's the craziest part about it, yo.
Yeah. But then, like I like a trumpet too. I love a good trumpet.
Yes. Is there any like song that you've heard or like piece that you've heard that you go to for the live version over the recorded version?
Oh, ooh. That's a good one. One in particular that's a little more recent is Toby Nwigwe and his wife Fat. Yeah. Them when they did the live performance of Fi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
On the BET award show.
Oh yeah. I gotta look that up.
That one I like that version of it. Because they had a live band behind it too, and it and just their energy on stage. I mean, like, so watching it on, is a big aspect of why I like it better too. But the way they,
yes, I do,
because having the band behind them, the way they like, altered for each little section, because I was like, yeah, that shit was dope, and it was live. It was super live. I mean, seeing people jump like out of their seats at the award show, like people were out of their seats, like almost like headbanging, moshing at certain points because of the intensity and energy, There's a couple of dudes I remember seeing in the clip, but they're just like, like they was just like headbanging. But that shit was that's one that's a little more modern, and I can't think of any other ones.
So what's the classic one then? That's
like
a modern one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. One? Like there's and it's a Spanish song, which Mark Anthony performed, and he has a live performance of it, and I forget where he was playing. I think this might have been Madison Square Garden. I can't remember exactly, but it's of the song called Preciosa, which means precious, and it's about the island of Puerto Rico, and it's a really like heartfelt song.
Oh wow!
And he like kills this note on it, like kills it, and and just with the accompaniment of the music, like the string and like there's like this bum 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 bum, and then everything just builds up and he just he goes off, and it's just like this, such like a I don't know, just it's one of those songs that like make you proud of who you where you come from.
Yes.
And it's one of those. It's like big like puns, 100%. Like that fun story with that one is like, right after Pun died, I was back. Yeah, R.I.P. Pun, Christopher Rios. Right after he passed away, I was in. I went back up to Connecticut to visit family during that summer because I was already living in Savannah. I think it was it might have been the summer of 2001. And I get to go to New York for the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Oh wow!
So I go to New York for the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and it was literally like maybe like 4 months after Pun passed, or
Lord.
It was within like 6 month range. I forget when he passed away, which is my bad, Pun. But yeah, we were just like, enjoying the parade. Floats are going by, and yada yada. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands and thousands of people.
Wow.
And we see I could see the Terror Squad float. Come up, getting a bit closer, and as they get within range, and like they're playing like classics from Terror Squad and Pun and Fat Joe and Remy Ma and like the whole Triple Six, all them cats, part of this whole the whole clique. But they get within probably about like they must have been maybe just only 100 yards away or so, like the length of a football field, when and it's started to get louder too at this point, like the music coming from their float, and all of a sudden you hear the Puerto Rico, like Tony Sunshine sings that part, Lord. And then man, as soon as you hear the whistle go, everybody just fucking lights up. And then when the beat drops, like it's like everybody just starts like they're jumping up, and I swear I felt the freaking island like bouncing. Like it was incredible, just like how many people were just so just and engulfed in the same like energetic wave, It was just like this, like celebrating Pun, and then being proud of who you are. Like the songs about Puerto Rico, man, 100% like Boricua, and like so it's like that song, like I feel like it became like an anthem for the people, and that was incredible to be there and have that experience, like right there after he passed, because everybody from the Terror Squad was up on that float. Like it was still, there was just, I think before any of that, whatever the beef between Cuban Links and Fat Joe, I think might have already been beefing, I forget. But anyways, yeah, that was dope. That was a cool experience.
Nah, man. That was a great way to cap it off, man. We'll leave it here, man. I appreciate you so much for your time, Brother Age.
Yeah, and, absolutely, man.
Yes, man. Let the people know where to find you at, man.
Yeah, so as a multi-dimensional artist,
yes,
musician, and or I say beat maker and whatnot, my Instagram is SAVAJE 18. That's Savage, Sav Age, Savannah Age. SAVAJE 18. And you can find me there. I post a lot of the artwork that I'm doing on that platform. And I don't post too much music to that. I will be sharing more of that in the near future. Start, sharing more of the music endeavors for sure. Mm-hmm. And then for the music, you can find me at Instrumental Age with a J, AJE, instrumentalage.bandcamp.com. And I have a instrumental album titled Space Time Sound Light Volume 1 that is also on the YouTubes and Spotify and some other streaming platforms, and that's Instrumental and then capital AJE, Age. And the album again, Space Time Sound Light Volume 1. Hopefully you can find that on your Spotify and all that jazz. I think some people have had a hard time finding it. But what else? And then you can also check out all cool things happening over at Sulfur Studios.
Yes, put them on.
And Art Southeast, it's a nonprofit that I have helped to co-found with some other great people here in the town up in Savannah. And sulfurstudios.org is the website. Check us out there. And that's sulfur with a FUR. And make sure you check us out there. And then you'll see me out and about for sure. Got some things lined up for the year.
Gotcha, man. Well, appreciate the time once again. Thank you for coming to Signature Views, man. This is the whole Signature. We'll holla.
Appreciate it.